people are coming and seeking Yeshua who either were not covenanted or out of the broken covenant, meaning Israelites that had been somewhat scattered. So they're being referred to with the designation of the Greeks. So that's important for us. So you can see yourself in this. As always, we talk about seeing ourselves in the Torah portion. You should be seeing yourself in that you, in essence, are certain Greeks who come to the festivals, and you're seeking Yeshua. He who loves his life shall lose it, and he who hates his life in this world shall preserve it for everlasting life. So he's talking about not life, meaning that you have blood pumping through your veins and you're breathing oxygen and you're above the ground functioning. He's talking about he who loves his life shall lose it. Okay? You see, a lot of people struggle with submission to his authority because they love some aspect of their life more than letting that die so they could follow him. You put yourself above him when you do that. Yeshua fully knows that he will be delivered through the whole thing eventually, that he will be resurrected and sit at the right hand. What he's saying here is, what should I say? Deliver me so I don't have to go through this? That's what he's talking about. See, don't we do that though at times? Oh, Father, we're all crying and we're all upset. Father, I don't want to go through this. But wait a minute, maybe it's for this hour that you were here, to be able to show him your submission, your faith, your strength of belief, your trust. And by the way, that's another kind of instruction that you should embrace so that you don't feel compelled to have to jump on Facebook and every place else and get in everybody's faces because you think they might be damaging his name. He can protect his name quite fine on his own, thank you very much. Okay? He doesn't need you to do it. All right? All you're going to do is get in a fight, and you're going to get all upset, and then you're going to lose your shalom, your peace, and then you're going to have taken a few steps back and undermine all the growth instead of the growth that you already had. You'll start undermining that. So that verse, again, we got to be careful. We don't just fall into, it's Satan. Because Christianity has really worked very hard to make that entity of that name the scapegoat for everything. Look, I've told you all the time, over and over and over again, Hasatan is an opportunist. He is not the creator of your problem. If you don't give him anything to work with, he can't do anything. Okay? He's not the instigator. He's not the initiator. I'm saying those things funny on purpose to get your attention. He doesn't initiate. You give him material to work with. He's simply an opportunist. He says, I'm going to draw all onto myself. All doesn't mean all men, everybody that ever lived. Otherwise, there's no point to any of this process. Why doesn't everybody just get in now? By the way, that's a question you should ask every mainstream Christian who gets in your face about we're just saved by grace, blah, 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 blah. So then why are we all standing around waiting? Why go through this torch? Once you come to belief, why don't you get just changed then or whatever they believe? What's the point of this ridiculous life we have to live? Well, because it's where you become him through living this life. Confusion is a darkness waiting for something to be revealed. All right? It's a place where something is hidden for later revealing. How many of you have read verses and heard verses since you've had me as your teacher? Not anything that goes to my credit, but just in that time frame where you knew that you knew and you thought you understand those verses only to find out later that you had them wrong, or verses you never understood, now all of a sudden you understand because something has been revealed. Okay? So it was hidden, but now it's revealed. And that's when I'm looking at a verse and I read it to you and you go, oh, like when I mentioned the ruler of this world maybe not being Hasatan, some of you were like, oh, I never thought of it that way. See, Christianity wants to tell you just make a confession and the healing's going to come even if your heart hasn't changed. But you found out that there's a Messiah that was born, resurrected, and now sitting at the right hand. He was born, died, and resurrected, sitting at the right hand. And as long as you believe that he exists and existed and that all happened, boom, you should be healed. No change in you. You just got some information and you say, okay, I buy into that. Okay, so where's all my blessings and my healing? You have to change. But you see, this is the problem that goes back a long way. He said that these rulers even, these are rulers, people with authority, yet they were weak-minded and they didn't have heart enough to stand up and confess what they knew because they were afraid that they would be put out of the congregation. We have some people right now sitting in churches, well, not right now, but tomorrow they'll be sitting in churches who know better, but they're too afraid to get kicked out. So they don't want anybody to know what they know. Then we got people on the other side of it who are going to irritate everybody in their churches and get thrown out. You know what? Don't bother everybody there. Just leave. So you say you want to believe in Messiah, you want to come into covenant, but you're still going to go do Sunday, Christmas, Easter, and eat pork. What are you repenting of? If you're not going to change your life, your walk, the walking in the light, like he said in that one of the verses we just read in chapter 12 of John. If you're not going to actually walk in that light and change your life, what did finding out about Messiah do? Find out that there was a golden ticket escape clause in the whole thing if you just believe he exists?